What's going on, y'all? So listen. What's going on, y'all? So we are back again for another episode review of The Shy. I believe this is episode 6, season 3. I forgot what it was called, but it'd be in the title. No, it's called Woo Woo Woo. All right. So when you get into the episode, I'm gonna just go people by people because that's easier for me to remember. But we have to pick up what we left off last week. Truth be told, I really wish they would have picked it up. um I have mixed feelings about this episode. I do feel like this episode was kind of all over the place a little bit, but I still was able to watch it and to follow along. I wish they would have picked up with the Keisha situation with Ronnie actually going to the house and trying to find, you know, which is crazy that he would be the only one that would really hear this screaming or whatever from Keisha and not go to the house or whatever and try to find her and all this stuff. But whatever. I thought they was gonna pick up with that, but they did pick up with Keisha. So this is after the blackout. Keisha is back in her bed at this man's house. This guy, what I was saying in the last episode is because he had the track coat, the track suits or whatever, those are school issue track suits. And I know that you can go to the store and you can have the uniforms made or whatever, but he got the shorts, he got the pants, he has the jackets, he had like multiple you know multiple versions of them, you know what I'm saying, multiple pairs, I should say, that's what I'm saying, and the shoes or whatever. And I'm like, so what you doing? That's what made me believe that he was like a former track coach that probably worked in the school or an employee that worked at the school before, not the track coach. And don't get it confused, because I know some people was getting it confused on Twitter as well when they were saying track coach, not the track coach that she was out here messing around with. Okay, not him, because he's a younger guy, and remember they beat him up too bad. Okay, and he left, he never came back. This one, he's an older gentleman. We did see him earlier in the season when Kevin and the kids was over there working on Otis campaign at Otis pizzeria, and Kevin got into it with them guys who was talking shit about Keisha, not knowing who she was and not knowing that Kevin was her brother and was her brother. Yes, I said it right the first time. Was her brother, and wind up, punching one of them out, and dude came up and I think he actually put money in the missing container jar or whatever. And we also saw him um taking a job in one of the episodes, and he ran into Emmett, you know what I'm saying? So he's been around and he's been placed intricately into the episodes, and people are picking up on that, you know what I'm saying? And so this time we get to see more of his face, more of who he is. We don't know his backstory. I think his name is Omari, because when I was looking at it on the subtitles, that's what it said. Okay, but Keisha is in the bed, sitting there chained up. She's writing on a little card. She's, drawing a pancake cake, saying happy birthday with the candles. Happy birthday, bro. And, she's having a little flashback to the last birthday that she celebrated with Kevin. They was at the House of Pancakes, and, just talking about how does it feel to be older, and he doesn't feel anything, but it's a lot of things that's changing, and he wished things wouldn't change. And she said things have to change to get better, and all this stuff, and woo woo woo. Okay, and so at this point, she gives him a gift of a scrapbook with all their old pictures and stuff like that, and was basically saying, regardless of whether I go to college and I leave this place right here, you're gonna always be my little brother. I love the bond between Keisha and Kevin. Okay, they really do love each other, and she looks out for him, and they look out for each other. Okay, and so at this point, the pancakes come and they singing happy birthday. They surprised him with the happy birthday song. Next thing you know, Keisha is back into her reality of her current reality, being chained up to this bed, and then we hear footsteps coming down. She's sitting there crying, and old Mari comes down, and all he motions to her. He goes like this. I said, what the heck? You got her trained and everything. It was Girl, I would never want to be in a situation like that. I would never want somebody that I know. I be thinking about stuff like that. Like, what if my little sister, because sometimes she be a little fucking naive. Okay, what if she can get trapped up in some mess like this? How would she be able to take her herself, or, defend herself? Or, sometimes your mind gets to thinking like that in this world that we live in. Girl, she got down off the bed and she sat down on the floor. He sat right behind her. You know when your mama about to braid your hair up and you sit between her legs, okay? Sit between your legs, come on and braid my hair. Come on, that's that old Mario. That's that old Mario, okay? Braid my hair. Anyway, he sat there and started brushing her hair, saying, yes, you gonna be clean. You clean. That's a good girl. I said, first of all, don't talk to me like I'm a child. Don't talk to me like I'm a goddamn pet. Okay, that's what it is. And he petting her hair and he brushing that stuff. And she crying. He was like, shh, 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 shh. Easy. It's gonna be okay. Easy now. I said, no, we not doing this. We not doing this. Next thing you know, we hear a knock at the door. Okay, they both looking up, and he wanted to ignore it at first, but then it got so much that he had to get up and go see what was going on. And at this point in time, he goes up to the door, and who's at the door? It's Ronnie at the door. Okay, Ronnie was coming there talking about some, during the blackout the night before, I heard some screaming in the neighborhood. Did you hear anything? And he was like, he said it so quick, like he done this before. He was like, yeah, me and my wife, we heard some screaming too. It was coming from that house across the street though. Okay, and so Ronnie using this excuse that he needs to use the bathroom. He talked about his stuff hasn't been right since the blackout, so can he please use his washroom? And then he was like, listen, to be quite honest, because Omari said no. But he said, to be quite honest, I really ain't got a pot to piss in. And he was like, what you mean? He looked at his cart and he was like, I literally don't have a pot to piss in. Can you please just let me use your washroom? I said, first of all, Omari went on ahead and let him come up into the house. You have somebody that is kidnapped, and truth be told, that's how some of these serial killers and these kidnappers and stuff be working or whatever. They try to make themselves seem normal so they will let people up in their house and all that stuff. But in 2019, whenever the heck this was filmed, we in a new day and age. We don't just let people up in our houses, especially up in Chicago, okay? I said, Lena, what is this? Lena, what is this? Okay, we don't do this. You got a whole ass girl that everybody's looking for downstairs in your basement, and you gonna let him up in the house? Girl, and he already talking about there was some screaming. I said, no, we not finna play games with this one, okay? You're not gonna get me with this one. I said, So Ronnie about to find her. Girl, stop playing. But anyway, Ronnie looking around, and it's a nice looking house or whatever, old house for Chicago. He goes upstairs to the bathroom, where's that or whatever, and he looking around into the rooms and all this stuff. Keisha hears the footsteps. Mind you, in the background, it's on the TV. We got the Mario campaign going on. You got the two speeches and people, Camille, aka Lena, talking about what she gonna do for her campaign. We hear Duda saying what he gonna do and all this stuff. And next thing you know, since Keisha hearing all these footsteps or whatever, she starts screaming out, help, 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 help. And then Mr. Omari just started turning up the TV, and you hear the pot kettle going off or whatever, trying to make as much noise so it can drown out her screams. And at this point, Ronnie was in the bathroom, but he can hear through the vents some screaming, okay? And so he comes down the steps like, did you hear some screaming? I was like, I heard some screaming. He was like, I think my mind playing tricks on me or whatever. But he wound up hearing it and not being sure exactly what he's hearing. And so at this point, he leaves and he goes out or whatever. Later on, you see Omari come down there like, you being a bad girl or whatever. You trying to get me caught up knowing that you trying to get me in trouble. All this screaming that you was doing. Had her sit between his legs and once again start brushing her hair. But this time he went and got some scissors. And he goes into this whole reason why he took her. This is part of the reason why he took her. He said, basically, bitch, you remind me of one of this girl that I really loved back up in high school or whatever. And she was like my first love. And I asked her, could you go out with me? The best thing, she was beautiful. Had some beautiful hair. That was her best quality. Her hair was everything. Looked just like you. And you looked just like her. That's what caught my eye with you. okay? And at this point, he was like, I asked her to if we can go kick it, go steady or whatever. She said, no, I'm not really into your type. I want to be with a football player. She got with that football player, okay? Next thing you know, she giving her stuff to all the niggas in the neighborhood. Next thing you know, she pregnant. Next thing you know, she on welfare, looking all ugly and fat and shit. I said, wait a minute. Oh, you are scorned. Okay, all because you got rejected. This is what you're doing. You're holding on to this. You need some help, sir. All right. And so at this point, he started cutting her hair off. I said, bitch, as a punishment. Okay, telling her she needs to eat. And at this point, later on, we see that she do try to, at the end of the episode, her last scene was her trying to suck up to him, saying, if I be a good girl, can you do me a favor, whatever, because it is her brother's birthday, and all she wanted to do was to call Kevin and to hear his voice, and he let her, as long as she didn't say anything. We saw Kevin answer the phone, and it was a block call, and truth be told, listen. Keisha must have known her brother, okay? Must have known that he gonna answer the phone all the time, no matter whether it say block or in private. Because if it was me, Keisha would have known not to say that. Because Keisha would have known Ashley don't answer private calls unless somebody told me that they gonna look out for a phone call or whatever, and it might be private because it's somebody important, and we trying to establish some stuff before I let you get in and give you my real stuff, okay? But black calls and stuff, Ashley don't. If I don't know the number, I'm not gonna answer it. So Keisha lucked up on that, and she was able to hear her brother's voice, but he didn't know that that was her on the other end because she didn't say anything. And I felt so bad for her, okay? But at the end of the day, Keisha, you still made me mad because you came up out that house and you could have escaped, and you just laid there on that floor and you let that man take you again, okay? I mean, I understand the psychological aspect of family being free for a little bit and you want to celebrate. We celebrate when the journey is done. Your journey was not finished, sweetie. You could have been out of this shit last week. You could have been at home with Nina this week, bitch. I'm just saying, I ain't trying to victim blame, but girl. Meanwhile, with Kevin, he's going to the rink, and Nina and Dre getting some things together. She getting his presents and stuff like that together. Dre said it's going to be a surprise birthday party because Kevin came out and said that he was going to, she wanted to cook some dinner for them. And she said, could you come back home at a decent time because he about to go out with the fellas. And it was like, well, I was going to kick it with them or whatever, but, it is what it is. We can try to do this. And Drake was trying to tell Nina, listen, we gonna throw a little surprise party. I set it up with Papa, whatever. We got a cake and everything. We gonna have this whole thing. And Nina was like, thank you so much. If I wasn't married to you, I would already marry you. I get with you and all that stuff. I said, so it's cute to see Nina snap out of her little days that she's been. Like, she needs these moments. We have to understand that Nina, regardless of whether it looks like she's doing a lot for trying to find Keisha, she has not given up. Her spirit is just broken because it just seems like she's losing hope that her daughter will ever be found. And instead of her moping around, she got this one ray of sunshine, this one ray of light that's coming through, and that's going to cause her to smile a little bit. And that's celebrating her son's birthday because she can't neglect him while she's trying to find her daughter. You know what I'm saying? He needs that equal attention as well, but he understands. Okay, so he's at the rink, skating rink with Gemma, having a good time or whatever. And she was like, do you mind if I bring my friends over if they come? He said, go ahead. Well, I'm gonna bring mine, okay? So Papa and them was supposed to come to the rink or whatever. I think Jake was supposed to come as well. But Jake over there at the Trig house, we'll talk to that in a second. And at this point, we get to where Gemma's little friends come, and of course they love white girls. They love white girls because that's all that she been around probably, given that she got money and she's not in the hood or, with that type of, her people, whatever, and being at school, she probably, because it's just mostly white folks, that's what she usually gravitates towards, even though, whatever, given the circumstances. Kevin walks past and hears them talking about Keisha. I hope they find his sister. That's probably why Jake told us to back off and give him a little space or whatever. So he heard them bring up Jake and Keisha, and he automatically assumed that Jake was the one that told them about Keisha, because Jake wasn't picking up the phone. Jake wasn't texting back, and he usually texts back real quick. He's telling Gemma this. He's upset. You know what I'm saying? And so at this point, he's in his feelings. He's like, fuck Jake. And um, you know, he was over them girls, so he left. They wind up going to the House of Pancakes, and at this point, Gemma and Kevin sitting down there. She was like, here's your little birthday gift. I said, little birthday gift? Baby, she done brought him like the new iPad. Okay, I said, let me get a girlfriend that like to spend expensive, Apple products on me and everything or whatever. Like I'm down for it, okay? I reciprocate, but that's cute or whatever. I ain't never, let me tell you something, out of all my birthdays, I ain't never really got nothing, okay? But because of the way I was raised, we didn't grow up and think about, birthdays and stuff like that. Nobody ever really brought me a present, anything like that. So I don't know what that feels like, and I'm an old bitch, but I feel some type of way. But okay, I always buy my own self stuff. You know what I'm saying? So that's what that was. So, it probably feels nice to have somebody give you some shit. But anyway, at this point, they having a good time. They talking. We got the lady that was there in that flashback that Keisha had when they was at the House of Pancake, that came up there, that knew his order, took his order. And of course, Gemma got the same thing that she wanted, that he wanted or whatever. And they was having a good little conversation up until Gemma was just having this conflict of character, a conscience or whatever. She had to just come on out and say, it was me who told them. It was me who told them because, I was talking to my mom about Keisha, and trying to ask her exactly what should I do and how should I make you feel better or whatever. And maybe, my mom told Trig's mom and he overheard and then told them and all this stuff. And the whole thing is, Kevin does not want people to know. Kevin does not want people to feel sorry for him, especially those up there on that north side. Okay, he don't want the pity party, but at the same time, the way that Kevin is holding in on this stuff, he hasn't cried about Keisha, and I feel like if he do that, he truly feels that'd be the end of it. Like, Keisha is lost. Keisha is gone and she ain't never coming back. So he trying to hold that all in, and then probably will release that when he finally sees her. Okay, for real, for real. That's what I feel like. And of course, he gets upset with her and he walks out. He was like, you can't be trying to buy my feelings and whatever with expensive gifts and stuff. I said, oh, and you left it at the table? Bitch, I would have grabbed that shit and walked the fuck out. What you talking about? Okay, that's just how I am. I said, you not true Chicago, because we gonna leave shit on the table like that, not expensive gifts. Okay, no, we're gonna put that to good use, and we're gonna say fuck you at the same time. Okay, that's what we do out here, But when you piss us off, okay. And so we go over to Papa and Maisha picking up the cake. Girl, let me tell you something. I already knew it was gonna be some mess when they got up there to the counter, and old girl was giving them too much attitude and flavor. Like, bitch, if you didn't want to come to work today, you should have called out. And if you ain't had no days, you should have kept some of your days so that you can call out in a time like this when your attitude was not up to par. And then spelled the name on the cake wrong. She said it was Kavion. It was like, happy birthday, Kavion. Kavon. And then they was like, wait a minute. This is not how you spell Kevin, but how you spell it. I said, is there any other way to spell Kevin besides Kevin? Let me know. Let me know, because that's the only way that I synced it. You know what I'm saying? And so at this point, they tried to fix it, and it still was messed up. Papa and Maisha talking about their stuff, talking about how they get into a conversation where, he's questioning God. Okay, after seeing Camille, hand his daddy that envelope of money, he's a little bit questioning things right now. And Maisha was like, how you a preacher's kid and you questioning God and stuff like that or whatever. At one point he tried to hold her hand. She was like, we ain't finna do that. Listen, I'm not ready to go public yet. Because when you go public, people start talking. I said, bitch, what type of celebrity you are? Maisha said, bitch, I'm important. People be looking, people be thinking, people be saying stuff. I ain't, no. They walking down the street and, they still having that little conversation. And at one point, he tried to hold her hand and he dropped the cake. It was like, listen, I knew I couldn't hold your hand and hold this cake at the same time. Why did you do it? Because I really like holding your hand. I said, Papa in real life, if he like this in real life, he is gonna make his wife happy, okay? Whatever girlfriend he get, he is really gonna cherish her. I really feel like it, for real, for real. And then they wind up coming to the house. Emmett was gonna be there too. They came there, helped decorate Emmett and Tiffany or whatever. They had a little surprise party. It was a surprise for Kevin when he come in, and instead of the regular cake, they had the pancake cake, and he was happy for that. And the episode ends with that, him blowing out the candle, making a wish or whatever. And I'm pretty sure he wished that his sister would come home. Speaking of Emmett, Jesus Christ, Tiffany then took Emmett. He fired. Tiffany then took Emmett to where she pick up her orders to do her deliveries and shit like that. And it's this weed emporium type of situation. Okay, you got to have a password. You got to be looking up in the cameras, whatever. It got security guards. It's nice as hell in the inside. Okay, the building on the outside don't look like shit, but it's nice as hell on the inside. And Keisha getting what she need, and she spending like $4,000 and shit on stuff or whatever so she can re-up or whatever. And Emmett, first of all, Tiffany told Emmett, don't touch shit, okay? Act like you been here, okay? Act like you got some sense. Emmett takes his ass in there and he looking around, touching everything and fucking stuff up. Okay, I said, you know what? He is the kid when you remember when you went to the store with your mama and your mama had to sit down and tell your little brother or you that when I get up in the store, you better not put your hands on anything, okay? You better keep it or I'm gonna pop your ass. That is Emmett. Emmett is that kid that you gotta warn to not touch anything when we go any place, okay? But he started talking to old girl at the desk like, my girl bringing in all this money. Why don't you give her this type of discount or whatever for y'all business and all this stuff? And she was like, we don't do discounts. The security guard get up in it because it starts getting a little rowdy, just a little bit. And at this point, he was like, let me speak to your manager. Let me speak to your manager. Come to find out, the manager or the owner of the place is Brandon's cousin, the weed head. I said, you know what? He really took his business somewhere, okay? And they went back there, chatted it up, and basically what came out of that situation is, Emmett got her a little discount and a little deal going between him and her and the cousin. And so they was making a drop off to this lady who needed her medicine. I don't know what type of illness that she had, but she spent her last dime on getting her medicine and she couldn't pay them, but she was also doing a tarot card reading and she was like, I can give you a reading. And basically in this reading, it basically said that, their relationship is a lot of love there. Okay. And then the next card was like this heart with 3 swords through it or whatever, saying that the relationship has been tested, it will be tested, and it's gonna keep on being tested. And then it was another card that came out like the Wine of Swords or something like that. And Emmett being impatient and not trying to hear what's being said, thinking it's all just bullshit. It was like, what does it mean? What does it mean? And it was like basically mean that your dick don't get enough of pussy. Okay, whatever type of your dick need more pussy than what hers can provide for you. Okay, I said, oh, so crass, but I understood. And basically, Tiffany was just in her feelings about this whole thing because she felt like he gonna cheat. And at the end of the day, I was thinking that Tiffany might cheat with Corey Hardrick's character, Dante, that we saw a couple of episodes ago, but I'm pretty sure that Emmett probably gonna fuck around with Dominique, aka Lala. They gonna fuck around and do some stuff. But moving on from that, he had to convince her that he ain't finna be on that type of shit. Meanwhile, Jake, he done went over there to Trig's place and trying to see what's up with him. They going around playing basketball or whatever. And, Trig wind up asking him about this $50,000 that Reg supposedly had left behind. And he was like, Reg was always broke, so I don't know what you're talking about. Ain't no $50,000 up in his house. Jake was just coming at his throat about, why you left when they was on the basketball court. Why did you leave? You left us with no man in the house and all this stuff. And, he was like, he just had to get himself together, okay? He was like, you gonna be mad at me? He was like, I got the right to be mad at you. He was like, you want to hit me because I see you got your fist balled up. He was like, go ahead and do it. Jake let off a hit, and he was like, okay, you got that out your system, we good now? And he trying to convince him that he wants him to come stay with him, okay? That's what he doing all of this for, because he wants him to be, he want to be, make up for what he didn't do. And so they go to this other trap house, not the one that they were staying. He was like, well, if it ain't at the house that I'm staying at, now it has to be at this other house that Reg be talking about. And sure enough, there was this, you can tell that it was a different type of wall, like it had been opened up and then plastered back over. So they bust that wall up and found a bag, and it had money in there. Now when they was at the park, it was a car out there looking at them, and so they hear some footsteps while they in the building. And at this point, they be quiet, and then this guy comes walking past, and Trig just started beating his head in or whatever. And he was like, basically what wound up happening is this dude been following them ever since, been following them all day. And it's one of Doodah's guys, and he knows that it's one of Doodah's guys. Okay, and so at this point, Jake figured it out. You've been keeping me around just so that you can get at Doodah or whatever, just so dude won't come at you, because then Doodah not trying to hurt him. He trying to hurt because he needs Jake. He needs Jake for this politics shit. Okay, and so at this point, Jake is in his feelings a little bit. I said, Jake, you'll get over it. Okay. Jake, you act like you don't know how the streets work. Okay, your brother was rich. Okay, you don't know how the streets work. Speaking of Doodah, speaking of freaking Doodah. Doodah mama gets on the goddamn press on the news and basically said, I'm voting for Camille because Doodah ain't shit. He ain't never been shit. The nigga in debt, okay? And you want somebody like that who don't know nothing. They want to call him Otis, but his name is really Doodah. That's what they be calling him. He be out here playing around in the streets, whatever. He can't even do his own finances. His own shit is messed up. He ain't shit. He ain't never gonna be shit. He my son. I know, okay? And so at this point, Candy pissed off, or I should say her name is Rose. She pissed off or whatever, and she, just upset at the whole thing, calling her a bitch, whatever. Perry was like, listen, that's still my mama, so you gotta calm down. She was like, let me just go talk to her. No, I don't need you to do anything. Just let this ride. I'm gonna let this just go ahead and dissipate from the press or whatever. I'm not gonna say nothing about it, okay? Candy still took it upon herself to go down there and try to bribe the mama to shut the fuck up, okay? Tell her to sign this NDA, like I'm not gonna say anything else to the press about Doodah, or whatever, and get these $10,000. She said, what you think I'm gonna do with 10 racks? And she was like, listen, because Candy thought that Camille came to her to do all this and set this up, Lena's character, and come to find out, Mama went to Camille. She was like, the dyke is better than her. Okay, that's basically what it is, she a mean bitch, and I like that girl. Okay, she can run this city. You know what I'm saying? And Candy gave her another 10 stacks and she went on ahead and signed. And Mama was still talking shit about her son. Mind you, Otis them came up in there and was like, "Good to know how you feel." Oh, my bad. Good to know how you feel or whatever. And now get the fuck out. I said, "Oh." And then he got mad at Rose. He was like, bitch, I was just going to try to trust you again. And you went behind my back and you did something that I told you not to do. Ain't this about a bitch? I said, damn, do that. Everybody just fucking you over. That's what you deserve, nigga. Okay? But then, he gets on and do a little press and basically try to chalk it up to mental illness. That's what's going on with his mom, and that's why she came out and said what she said. And, trying to say, like, that's why I've been keeping her out the spotlight or whatever. And, my opponent, she actually brought awareness to something that needs to be taken more seriously in our community, and that's about mental health illnesses and stuff, and stop glossing over it and actually doing something about it and getting long-term care for it and stuff like that. And let me just tell you about my opponent. She be saying all this other stuff, but she ain't no good herself. And I got her on tape saying some stuff about, he played this tape saying the reason why I go to small churches, because if you go back and you listen to, when that interview and news was playing in Amari's house, Keisha's captor house, when Ronnie came through, you heard Camille say that, yeah, I take money, I pay money to small churches or small things to come in and actually talk. So that's probably what was going on with, Papa's daddy. She admitted that. And I was like, okay, so, hmm. All right, you basically bribing these people to go ahead and do that, and you put that out there on the forefront. But dude, I got this recording of her basically saying the reason why I go to churches, these small churches especially, is because when people in these low income areas, it's because when people ain't got nothing left to believe in but God, they'll believe in anything. Okay, basically using it. Basically using it. I said, God damn, dude, all right, y'all out here doing some foul shit, okay? Y'all slinging the dirty politics of Chicago. That's how it be. But the last thing you want to talk about is Ronnie. He goes over there to Grandma Ethel's and get her together. She all dolled up, finna go out to this jazz club that she used to own back in the day, you know. And when they get there, she was like, what is this? She thinking she about to get up in there, start singing and put her show on or whatever. Girl, it's a strip club. I said, Lena, what the hell is this shit? Okay, that was so goddamn random. I was confused, but okay, shake your ass. Miss Ethel was liking it. I thought she would have been pissed off. She was like, excuse me, give me a couple of dollars, Ronnie. Let me, they better show me what they working with. Shit. I said, all right, Miss Ethel. She said, I finna get my little groove back. And this was kind of sad, after all of that happened, she's sitting down there taking her little drinks and everybody's surrounded by her and they're having this little history lesson about the club and the black folks being there and freedom and, jazz and all this stuff. And everybody was just eating it up. Now, see, I love that about elders, the wisdom that they possess, the stories that they can tell. I love to sit down and listen to them just talk about their experiences. Okay, so I actually kind of like that part. But then when he took her back to the nursing home, he was putting her in the bed and she was laying there. He took her shoes off and she was a little drunk or whatever. But she was like, oh, it's kind of cold up in here. And as soon as she said that, something said to me, Miss Ethel about to die. As soon as Ronnie went to go get her blanket, Miss Ethel passed away. I said, so y'all really finna make us feel sorry for Ronnie because Miss Ethel didn't have to go out like that. Miss Ethel had the roughest time on this show. Miss Ethel got her ass beat last season and then turned into goddamn dementia or Alzheimer's, whichever one. Okay, and now she ended up in a nursing home, girl, and now she dead. That was messed up. But anyway, you guys tell me how you felt about this episode. I didn't dislike it. I didn't truly like it, but it was cute enough to keep my attention. I'm ready for Keisha to break free. Okay, Ronnie, if y'all trying to make it so that Ronnie can break her free, please break her free like in the next episode. Okay, because I'm tired. It's about to be episode 7. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. But yeah, you guys tell me how y'all felt about this episode, and I will see y'all later. Peace.